Hello, good morning. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Estrade with Cynthia, and today we are going to be having Mrs. Sarah Ishola on the show. She wants to remain anonymous for now because she's not in a good state and she doesn't want to be seen, but she's going to be having an exclusive interview with us today. We are really going to be talking about the things that happened to her, how she went through them, how she came out strong, and the things she does for people to assist them even in her own state. So the next voice you are going to be hearing is her voice, and she's going to be laying it bare, speaking from the depth of her heart how everything transpired, and we would learn from this. Thank you and stay tuned. Okay, good morning, ma'am. Please, can you introduce yourself?
Good morning, I'm Mrs. Sarah Ishola. I'm Mrs. Sarah Ishola. I'm from Edo State.
Okay.
And I'm married to an Ekiti man. I'm blessed with children, male and female. The oldest one, the next birthday is going to be 40, while my youngest is 23.
Wow, that's nice.
Bless God.
So, ma'am, today I know whatever interview we're having today is very sensitive, and the purpose of this interview is to encourage someone out there that no matter what you go through, it is not the end of the road, and you can come out very strong. So, mommy, I know that you have been on this bed for a couple of years. You've not been moving, you've not been going around. So I want you to tell us what transpired, what happened to you, and how it came about.
We thank God. I've been on the bed for some years now. Some things happened to me in the past that made me to be on the bed. But in all, we give glory to God. Because when there's life, there's hope. When God gives us hope, we should hope in it. And one thing I encourage everybody to have a stubborn faith. Don't give up. No matter what it is, no matter the situation. Just believe that God is there and accept God, and He will be there no matter how tough or dark the situation is. He will always see you through because He has seen me through so many challenges. I give glory to God today.
Hello, mommy. Please, can you share what happened, as in what happened that brought you to this situation, so that they will learn, like, in depth. This show is really about talking about how vulnerable you were, what happened, what you did when it happened, and the things you have done after it happened to take yourself out of the situation. So it might be quite lengthy, but the viewers are willing to learn.
Oh, praise the Lord. As I said earlier, this thing happened years back. I gave birth to a baby. When I gave birth, it was a normal delivery. There was no problem whatsoever. And I've been a Christian even before then. Some things happened. On that day of my naming ceremony, according to informations, I was poisoned. So I fell into a coma. I was in a coma for about 2 weeks. So my parents agreed. The hospital was tired of me. They discharged me that I should leave, that they cannot handle it any longer. So my father now late, he came all the way from Edo State. No, he came from Ondo State, then he was working in Ondo State. He came to Lagos State to come and see me, pray with me. And he left and told my mommy to take me back home. My mommy took me back home. All these things I'm saying, I was later told because I was unconscious. So later, I became conscious. I was in a place where they were taking care of me. After some time, I left there, came to UBTH, where I was being taken care of, doing physiotherapy. After some months, I told them I want to come back to Lagos because my kids were small, and I came back to Lagos. Getting back to Lagos, I was not sitting down. I enrolled in a private hospital where I was doing my physiotherapy. From there, when the expenses became high, I now went back to General Hospital Lagos. I was attending the physiotherapy there. The improvement was coming. After some times, I stopped going because all along, I have always been going to church and doing my prayers. And I realized that the improvement I'm getting is very slow. That was when I made up my mind that it's only God that can do these things. So many stories came out from different sides, but I didn't listen. Because I know that the God I am serving is the God that lives and is the God that does everything. God has always given me his assurance that he's in the journey with me. He was the one giving me the grace to go through it. And at the end of the day, I have testimonies. Later, he gave me ministry. When he gave me a ministry to handle, I said, God, why are you giving me this ministry? He said, I might not be. The ministry is ministry for the widows. We help the less privileged in the society, helping them to fulfill their destinies through Christ. I said, why am I giving this ministry? God says he's giving me this ministry. Though I'm not a widow, I'm going through more than the things the widows are going through. So that is why he wants me to handle the ministry. And by the grace of God, he gave me money to start handling the ministry. I invited widows from the church, and they came. By the grace of God, we gave them soft loan. We started. Along the line, we had teething problems. So it slowed down. Even as I'm talking now, we still have people that God is using us for. So what I'm just trying to say in a nutshell is that no matter the situation you are, when you believe that God is there, he doesn't leave us. Even when we try to be saying that is God still there, he's always there. He's always there. He doesn't leave us. Sometimes you see that the whole journey is so rough. You don't understand. If God is in this journey, why is it like this? No. It would have been worse than that if God was not there. There's an article I saw. The man asked God, say, God, why? We are going. You say you are with me in this journey. When I get to some places, I see 2 footprints. Then later, I will see only 1. God told him that those days, those periods that you are seeing only 2, you are seeing only one person's footprints. That is when I carry you in my shoulder, so that you don't know how it is. So I want to tell everybody that God, no matter the situation you are, God have us in mind. He's carrying us at his back. That is why we don't know how far the journey is. Because if we don't have God in this journey, it would have been worse. If we believe in him that I know that he's going to do it, he will do it for us. Because he has been sustaining me. He has been taking care of me and my children. Even along the line, the father of my children left me with 6 children to go and marry another wife. I'm a legal wife. He left me, went to go and marry another wife. God never left me. Today, I'm happy to say that my journey has been in the hands of God. I've not had any regret in Jesus' name. So that is it.
Bobby, so how long have you been on the bed without moving around?
I've been on the bed that I can remember. I used to move around. Even when the situation was there, I refused to give up. I go everywhere I'm supposed to go. Since this thing happened, I've traveled to Kaduna to go and buy. This is long ago. I traveled to Kaduna. I got an opportunity through a friend, a church member. So I went to Kaduna at Arewa Textile Mill those days. I went to go and buy fabrics to come and start selling at Aswani. Go put in the car with the driver. Go to banks, go to offices to go and sell. So like that. When we were living, we had challenges. We were asked to leave. We left there. We came to our own place, living in a boys' quarter right now. I still went on doing my business. I've done so many businesses by the grace of God. I've not failed in any one. Even up to now, I still have businesses I'm doing. And this matter has happened long ago. That any person that hears it or know it, they are wondering that how am I making it, how am I surviving it? I'm surviving in it because God is involved. He's the one carrying me through. So I just want to tell everybody, no matter the situation, don't give up. Because sometimes it is the test of your faith. If you hold on to God and you don't give up, very soon you see a brighter side of life. You see that he will elevate you from that place and take you to a better place. And he doesn't leave us. It's only us that try leaving him. We don't leave him. Don't bother yourself saying, I am tired, let me try another place. If you leave God, you are going to serve something lower than God. If you have decided to serve the Most High God, don't go back. Because if you go back, it's going to be disastrous for you. No matter how tough the journey is, if you have Christ in that journey, just hold on to him. He doesn't leave us, and he will not leave every one of us, in Jesus' name.
Thank you, ma. So, along the line, when it happened to you, did anybody mock you? Did the friends desert you? How did it happen? Like, what are those emotional states that you felt when it happened? Was there any point you felt like, so this person can even leave me, or just let us know?
My dear, that question you asked me is a question that happens in every situation, most especially when you are going through difficult situations. Your friends will leave you. Your families will mock you. The people that you think can never disappoint you, they are the ones that will disappoint you first. In fact, it got to a stage, my mom says, leave this marriage. Don't die in this marriage. I told my mom, I said, Mom, I cannot leave. Not because of the marriage. I cannot leave my children. They are too small. If I leave them in need, what am I going to tell God that the children he gave to me, what did I do with them? Mom, let me go. Since God is involved in this, he will not leave me to die in it. And by the grace of God, I did not die in it. It's as bad as the father of my children, that we are in it together. He left me. He left me in it and went to marry another wife. And I did not bother myself. When I say this, I know that the answer would have gone to different angles. But you can imagine that a man that can have the mind to leave you, a man that once says, I love you, you are this, if you don't marry me, I cannot marry another person. He left me, went to go and marry somebody else. His family people said, I told you that Benin woman you want to go and marry, don't marry her. She's not from our tribe. She's not our blood. And he really left. He has given me so much trouble that it's only God that has kept me alive. He has given me so much trouble that even the house where I live, yes, my darling, even the house I live in a boys' quarter, a land that both of us bought together. We are building. As we are building, he left here, deserted me and the children. He has married another wife. That other woman is now encouraging him to come and sell this house and spend the money on him. There's a big house that I left because when I married him, there was no house. It was rented apartment. But God did it. We bought a land, we built a house, we did big party. I have pictures to show. So when the whole trouble became tough, I told him, I said, your family people want to kill me because of this. I said, I didn't see any house before I married you. So because of this, I don't want to stay in this house again. If you know you want to marry me, let us live here. He said he's not leaving. I left him and I went back to Benin. I spent 7 months in Benin. So when he discovered that, yes, I meant what I was saying, he now went to come and rent a house in the estate. We're now living in the estate. God blessing my hands, I started my business again. I do a lot of businesses. I'm a major distributor with Coca-Cola, with Pepsi, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, 7-Up and Pepsi, Coca-Cola. What is the name? Pali Soda, all of them. So, I started doing my business. I sell kerosene, I sell palm oil, I sell granite oil. I was a major distributor with Toka Vegetable Oil, the pioneer distributor with them. I had a shop at Okearin. All along, this challenge is there, but I just do as if I'm not seeing it. So
in this state, how do you move around? How do you commute? How do you commute when you are doing the business in this state?
Yes, in this state that I cannot move around like I used to move around since 2004, the trouble became so tough that I cannot leave my bed. I'm on my bed, but I still do my things through my phone. And when it becomes so tough, I'll get a cab and go. Last year, I went when I saw the whole trouble was becoming too much. In fact, when it was tough for me to even feed. So in front of my house, there's a small space in front of my house. I had to let it out for people to bring their containers and stay there. So I can make a livelihood from there. Be able to eat and pay school fees for my children. That was when he now came. He wants to take everything from me. You are there, you don't pay school fees, you don't give me money for food, you don't do anything for me. You are not still happy that I'm alive, because people were telling him, do away with her, do away with her. That was the reason why he left me to go and marry another wife. I wasn't bothered.
Is it when you had this challenge that he left you, or before the challenge?
It was during this challenge that he left me.
So when he was not around, how were you coping? How were you cleaning? How were you doing all those stuffs and assisting yourself?
When he has not been around, I have children, by the grace of God. I have good children. I have blessed children that whatever I need, they at my beck and call. When they were still very small, we were managing ourselves together. Now that they are big, before the coronavirus, they gathered together, contributed small money in their own little way, gave me a nanny. But because of the coronavirus, we have to stop her because she'll be going from her house and coming. Yes. And with my age, they said they don't want anything that way come and bring trouble. That is why we had to stop her. My children used to, once in a while, if there's, maybe I'm sick, I'm having malaria or typhoid, they bring in the nurse. I have medical people that takes care of that aspect, and my children are trying. In the morning, any of the children that is around will help me to do the little things I want to do, and they go about their own business. Now, my own business, I do most of them on phone now. People will call me, like I'm into slaughtering of cow. I sell cow meat. So people will call me, Mrs Ishola, we want you to give us, supply us cow. We bargain, we do everything about it, and we will supply it. I send my staffs there to go and clean it, and they are faithful. They will deliver it and they will do everything for them. Then that is how I'm doing that aspect. Every other aspect, and most of them I do them on phone. Rentals, when people want to rent, they call me on phone and ask me. We agree, they come. I give them the stuffs they want, and they go. Then some other little things I do once in a while. Sometimes I was selling garri, granite, sugar, pure water, bottled water. Those little things so that I'll continually have money to spend. That is how God has been sustaining me. By the grace of God, He has not failed me. And I know that once we give our life to Him, He doesn't fail anybody. He's not a partial God. What He has done for Mrs. Ishola, He will do for other people. I've gone through thick and thin times, and God has never left me. His promises are always there. He gives me His promises. He reminds me from time to time that He's in the journey with me. That one alone is enough. Because if my father tells me, I'm with you in the journey, my father can die. In fact, my father died along. I lost my father 8 years ago, but God is there. God is there. When my father was alive, he's a retired person, started farming. Once in a while, he will send foodstuffs through transport. Sometimes he will send my younger ones. My mother too, once in a while, she will send things to me. But how many things can they send? They too, they are old. So God has been there for me, and I have very good friends. Wow. Yes, I have very, very good friends in Christ. When you have children of God as your friends, it's not that they don't have their shortcomings, so they don't have their own. But don't always look at the negative side of anything. No matter what it is, always look at the positive things, side of the thing. I had a friend, I just lost a friend of 40 years. This last month. We were friends from beginning. When I came, we were in the same catering school together. After some time, she went for marriage. We lost contact for like 10 to 12 years. But like 20-something years, say like 25 years now, we got ourselves again, we started moving on. He traveled to the US last year. Only for me to hear this year that last month that she died. So, friends will go. Sometimes when they see your own faith, they'll come back. Some of them will go and mock you. But later they will come back and even confess with their own mouth and say, I'm sorry, I didn't know it's like this. This is what I was thinking, this is what I did. I just tell them, my sister, leave it, there's no need for all that, it has passed. Forget about your past at all times and move forward, because if you don't, start remembering what people have done to you, you will not move. Then you start doubting your faith in God. That is one thing we should not do at any point in time. Just believe that when the journey is tough, there He is. He doesn't leave His children. It's not because you were not a Christian. No. Even when you are a Christian, I became born again before this thing happened to me. I was the head of my own group in CAC church when it happened. It doesn't matter. This is test of faith or trial. Maybe the enemy wants to try you. She says she's a Christian. Let's see. That is where God is stronger. Then you should not disappoint that God. Don't go to small gods, because they will buffet on you and just make mess of you. Always hold on to Christ. He does it for everybody, and He will do it for whoever that's in any challenge. In Jesus' name.
Thank God. So I wanted to ask a question. You said you used to sell at Aswanu even in this state.
Yes, before down.
Commuting, how was commuting for you, like going to sell, and how were you able to make customers and make ends meet even in this state? Because some people now, they have two hands, they have two legs, they say there's no work, they're just lazing around. But right now, you've mentioned a lot of businesses you do. I want to know if it was in this state and how you commute, challenges you faced in those businesses.
There were challenges, but they were not much. Before I became on the bed that I've not been able to move around. Before now, the situation, when it came, it was worse. Later, with all the physiotherapy and everything I was doing, it helped me. I was able to walk around, not balance, with a stick, with a tripod. Okay. Because me, I don't give up.
You're active.
Yes, I'm very active. I'm very active. I don't give up. So with that stick, I will be going. Very early in the morning, I wake up. As early as 4, I've taken care of what I want to take care of. The driver will come. We'll move to Aswani. I open the car, put my things on the car, on the bus. It was a Volkswagen car that has boots. Okay. So I'll display my wares, my shoes, the shoes I'm selling. I go to Lagos to go and buy them. Then the clothes I brought from Kaduna. So I put, it was very many.
Wow.
It was very many. I bought 2 bales and one has 100 pieces. One piece is 6 years. So what really happened, I would have finished selling those clothes earlier than that. As I brought it, the vehicle I was using had fault. Okay. The father of my children, not knowing that he was jealous, he does, there are some men, they are afraid of their wife's progress. So he didn't want it. The car he was there, he was saying he would repair it. All the people that I booked with, that wanted to collect the clothes, some of them to use for parties and the rest, I lost all those connections. So I did not give up because I cannot start wearing those clothes by myself. That was what took me to Aswani. I did not I did not really have a shop in Aswani. I just put my chair in the car. When I get there, I put my chair by the side of my car. I display my wares. With the stick I'm working with, then the driver too will be active because I will take good care of them. So all those ones I was doing. Then for the cow business, I was still moving around with the stick. He will take me to the village where I buy, because I don't buy in Lagos. When you buy in Lagos, it's more expensive. He will take me there. We'll go there very early. We leave home before 5 or around there. I had a driver there that I had a contract with. Once I go and buy, he'll be the one that will bring it. So I just go to their park and say, tell the driver, Baba Kemi, that I'm going to the farm to go and buy. He will say, okay. Even when it's not there was no phone like this. So I'll go to the farm, go and buy. When I finish buying, before you know it, he said, meet me there. If he doesn't meet me there, I will mark my own car down and go. So we are going, you bring it to come and give it to me in Lagos. The people that are going to slaughter for me, I have them at home already. They'll be waiting. Once the driver comes, they will offload the vehicle and we'll start to do. Then I was in deeper life. So I had so much customers. Every week, on Monday I go to church. On Tuesday I go to the farm, to the village to go and buy. So on Wednesday, I do my slaughtering. By Thursday, sisters that are not able to collect their own, they collect it on Thursday when they come to church. So I was slaughtering 2 cows every week. Then along the line, I was selling my mineral, I was selling kerosene. I buy 10,000 liters of kerosene. If you are strong, you will not suffer. If you are not lazy, you will not suffer. But if you are lazy, you will not like yourself. You will be struggling and suffering for nothing. But if you don't give up, you are determined to make it. No matter how small it is, you will get there. I had no money at the time. No money. When I said no money, I wanted to start selling pure water. Before I could get 600 naira to start, it took me like 2 weeks.
Wow.
But when I got that 600 naira, I started selling. I don't finish selling only, how many bags? I think 11 bags or so for 3 weeks. And as I'm selling, I'm hungry. My daughter is here. We will eat. But one thing I did is that when I sell, I know that if I sell a bag of pure water, there's profit, there's skin. I'll remove on my profit. I'll keep my capital. So I was eating from the profit, not the capital. After that, I remove my tithe. It is very important. Whatever you do, whatever business you do, pay your tithe. Even somebody dashes you money, pay your tithe. So when I remove my tithe, whatever that remains, I know I'm going to use it. So gradually, because I once had a poultry.
Wow.
In this compound. I once had a poultry. So when the poultry, out of jealousy too, the poultry left. Father of my children poisoned my beds. I lost 400 beds within 2 weeks. You know how it pains. I lost 400 beds within 2 weeks. So people that already know that I sell beds at the end of the year, festive period, they say, mommy, she will not see beds to buy. I say, will not see eggs. So with that, I started collecting eggs from other farms. And I was selling between 80 to 120 crates of eggs every week.
Wow.
Everybody in this area now knew, if you want to buy egg, just go there. You get fresh eggs. You know, there's something, if you sell fresh eggs, customers will always come. You see neighbors, their friends will come and say, you say they are selling egg in this area. Where is it? You say this house. Or sometimes they are coming, they are dropping eggs here. They say yes. So the business, the profit was not much, but it was coming.
Consistent.
Yes. It was consistent, it was coming. And before you know it, everybody in the area started to sell eggs. Mommy to me, she's selling eggs. She's making it from me to let us go into the business. Everybody started selling eggs. Because when I was the only one selling it, people come from as far as Egbeda, Shagari, Jakondi, because they pass here.
Yes.
When the other road was back. So when they pass here, and I even had a signboard, egg depot.
Okay.
Yes. I had a signboard, egg depot. So they will just stop. Some people buy 10 crates, some people buy 5 crates, some people will send Okada like that to come and buy. So before you know it, before the end of the week, I've exhausted that egg. I buy on credit. So by the time they come back, their money is ready. I take my profit and give them their money. Be consistent. When you are doing business with anybody, don't defraud. Don't say, I'll pay you your money and you go and use to buy Ashwebi. It's dangerous. Yes, people do that a lot. They go and use the money to buy Ashwebi. And like that, they will not be able to meet up. So the person that is giving you market to say, when you don't remit your money very well, consistently, the person will stop. So like that, we're able to manage ourselves all through. And by the grace of God, my last one is in the school. If not for this problem, COVID, she's in 300 level.
Wow. And you raised all of them yourself?
It is God that did, not me.
So God used you to raise them yourself without their dad assisting or anything?
He was assisting at the time. After some time, he removed his hands. Like this, my last one, not even jump form. Not even jump form, not even going for her matric. Nothing, not even a kobo. Even when she was in the primary school, it was God that was using me, struggling for it. Throughout her 6 years in the secondary school, the father dropped only 20,000. Her primary school, he left 25,000 naira basic for me to go and pay, debt to go and pay. So throughout her secondary school, he contributed 20,000. At the time, he wanted to move her to a public school, of which I did not agree. She said he wants to. I said, okay, let it not be that. I don't want him to have his way. I allowed. I told my daughter, oh yeah, follow your sister to the place. When she got back there, she came back crying. She said, Mommy, no. She cannot go to that school. That school is like poultry school. I said, what do you mean poultry school? She said, Mommy, they are wearing bathroom slippers. The compound is not far. I said, you're not going to compound. She said, Mommy, if you say is that school, I will go. Me, I will not go again. Not go to any school. And I cannot leave my daughter like that. That's why I said, okay, go back to your school. She then went back to her school. And God has been faithful. God has been faithful. So it is God that does it for us.
Okay, Ma, so at what point did it deteriorate that you now stop moving around?
Yes, that was in 2004.
2004.
Yes.
What led to that? Was there any new development?
What happened is that 2004, my son sit down this one. Really? That 2004, what really happened was somebody, they wanted me to supply them cow. So I went. You know, when the enemy is fighting, they are always looking at you. What is her next step so that they can block it? I couldn't go far outside Lagos to go and buy the cow meat. I went to toll gate. I sat inside the bus. My son followed me. Then I was in a wheelchair. Okay. A church, Pastor Kaleja's church, donated the wheelchair for me, which is already bad now. Then I was using a wheelchair. So I went with him. By the time I would come back, I was not comfortable. When I sat on my potty to ease myself, by the time I stood up, I saw blood. there was a boil in my sitting position. It was bad. So my daughter came. My first daughter came. She now said, "Mom, see, please, don't sit on this place again. See the way blood is coming out." I said, "How will I now take care of myself?" She said, "I should not worry, that they will take care of it." So that is how I started staying on the bed. We're waiting for the boil to heal. While we're waiting for it, other ones were coming out. So we went to go and meet a doctor. The doctor came. He took care of me, did everything. He now told me that, he told my daughter, if people want this mommy's wound to heal, you will not allow her to sit on the potty again. She has to be on the bed so that this thing can heal, so that we can treat it. Then she has to open it down so that air can enter, so it will heal fast. That is what we thought we were doing. It was one boil like this. Before you know it, another one. It was now like 5. As we were treating, all the other ones were going. This one refused to go. The first one. So during the course of that, there was no physio going on. I could not sit down. The legs were not folding or anything. That is how the veins became stretched.
And there's no physio that you can do to it now.
My children tried. They took me to this last suit. Then there was no bed. So they referred me to some other hospitals, even to Bobby Orthopedic. Then they said no bed. Loot, no bed. So my daughter then was in Ibadan, my first daughter. They now took me to UCH. Same story. When I got there was no bed. So they now said, they were not describing, trying to send me to some other smaller hospitals. I called my daughter. I said, "Come, mommy, look at me. I'm not Yoruba. I don't hear Yoruba very well. I'm not going to any hospital that I don't know. Let me go back to Lagos." They now say, since our house is not far from the hospital, that I should go home. They'll be sending doctors to come and do the therapy and the rest of it. I was in her house for some time. Meanwhile, my daughter was preparing for her SSC. Then my grandson was with me. I said, no, I don't want to stay. I came back to Lagos. So while they are still, all these wounds were there. They were increasing from different angles. So they brought a nurse that was taking care of the wounds and the rest of it. We were waiting for the wounds to heal still. Some of them will heal, the other ones will come back. So I've not been able to really do any physio. So 2016, my children started disturbing again. Mommy, we cannot leave you like this. You cannot be, because they are now a bit big.
Yeah. But did the wound heal? Did the wound heal?
Yes, they heal, but other ones will come. But right now, I don't really have wound. It's only on my legs, on my bed sore, all those ones. So they now went to go and started going to outdoor at Bobby Orthopedic. That was 2000 towards the end of 2016 stroke 2017. So 2017 February, I was given admission. I was in the hospital for 5 weeks. My children paid so much. The wounds did not completely heal. Some of them were still there. They were not able to do physio for me because of the wounds. So I told my children, I said, I don't want to stay here again. They said, Mom, stay. See now, the wounds have. I said, the wounds have healed and they will not come back. They have taught me what to do and the rest of it. So that's how I left the hospital. I came back home. And here we are. God has been in control.
So is there any improvement in the movement of the legs?
Yeah. I cannot say no, because God is involved. I cannot still move around. If my children wants to bathe for me, it's either like this morning I had my bath on the bed, or they take me outside and they will bathe for me. In the morning, they will come. The one that is around will come, because now there's no nurse. Okay. Though I'm looking for another one, because the one that is helping me now, if he gets a job, he's a graduate. Once he gets a job, it will not be easy as before. So right now, I am not able to move around, but I know that God is going to do it, because his promises are there. And I'm seeing his hands in it. At least by now, God has used me for more than one person or two. So if God was not involved, I will not be able to help myself, not to talk of helping other people.
Okay, talking about that, what bettered the idea of helping people, and how have you been able to raise the money to help these people?
As I said earlier, it's a ministry that has been given to me by God. I refused to accept it before. I said, if God wants to give me a ministry, He should heal me first. Then I told him that I cannot give God conditions. It's He that owns me. Whatever He wants me to do, I should do it. And I told him I don't have money. Miraculously, God gave me money to do it. I started giving widows soft loan by writing letters to churches. If you have a widow there, send with the letter from the church. I will answer them. There's a form they fill. Even up to now, there's a form they will fill. When they fill the form, we'll see what we can do. I will give them soft loan. And they are good. They are doing their business.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. It's been insightful. It's been impactful. The things you have shared. I know that your faith is very strong, and God will perfect that which He has started.
Yes.
And I thank you for sharing your stories to the larger public. And I pray one or two people will be motivated by this, and they would see a need to continue. So it is not the end of the world, even when you are not on your feet. If an elderly woman, Mommy, how old are you? Sorry.
I'm 61 years young.
Yeah, Mommy is 61 years young, and she is still very much active, helping people, meeting ends meet, paying her children's school fees, doing everything herself. Then we have no excuse not to succeed in this world, because because when there is a will, there is a way. Yes. We just have to lift ourselves up and see a need to go. She has been through a lot. This is just a tip of the iceberg. She did not want to open up and really share, because her situation are very sensitive, and there will be a lot of name mentioning and every other thing. So she is very kind of discreet about those information. But the take home for this is, no matter what you are facing, what you are going through, always know that you can pick yourself up and start again. Thank you so much.